The story of Daniel in the lion's den is a famous biblical tale from the book of Daniel in the Old Testament. It's a remarkable account of faith, courage, and divine intervention. The events took place during the reign of King Darius the Mede. The Bible does not explicitly mention Daniel's age at the time he was thrown into the lion's den. However, based on the accounts provided in the book of Daniel, it is believed that Daniel was a young man or in his middle age during that period. Some scholars estimate that he might have been in his 60s or 70s, while others suggest he could have been in his 80s. What we do know is that Daniel had a deep-rooted faith in the God of Israel. He believed in the power, goodness, and sovereignty of God, which influenced his actions and decisions. His exemplary character and abilities distinguished him among the other administrators, arousing the jealousy of his colleagues. He had an unwavering commitment to living a righteous life. He demonstrated integrity, honesty, and moral courage in all aspects of his life, even when it came at great personal risk. Daniel had witnessed God's faithfulness in various situations throughout his life. For example, when he and his friends were faced with the challenge of defiling themselves with the king's food, Daniel trusted in God's provision and experienced his favor. Daniel's rivals sought to undermine him and find a way to remove him from his influential position. However, they realized that Daniel was a faithful servant of God and decided to use his religious devotion against him. His enemies convinced King Darius to issue a decree that anyone who prayed to any god or man other than the king for 30 days would be thrown into a den of lions. This decree was a ploy to trap Daniel. Despite the decree, Daniel remained steadfast in his faith and continued to pray to God 3 times a day as he had always done. He did not let fear or pressure change his devotion. His rivals eagerly caught him in the act of praying to God and reported him to King Darius. They reminded the king of his decree and insisted that Daniel be thrown into the lion's den as punishment. If King Darius had refused, he would have likely faced severe consequences from his officials and advisors who had manipulated him into issuing the decree. They would have accused him of being weak, failing to enforce his own laws, and undermining his authority as a ruler. They might have used this as an opportunity to plot against the king and question his leadership. Daniel's enemies would have intensified their efforts to undermine King Darius and find other ways to discredit him. They would have accused King Darius of favoritism, incompetence, or being influenced by outside forces. It would have created a political and social crisis in the kingdom. Ultimately, the king's decision would have had significant repercussions on his reign and his ability to govern effectively. King Darius deeply regretted his hasty decision, as he valued Daniel and recognized his virtue. However, he was bound by his own decree and reluctantly ordered that Daniel be thrown into the den of lions. Throughout the night, King Darius was distraught and couldn't sleep. At the crack of dawn, he rushed to the lion's den and anxiously called out to Daniel. Miraculously, Daniel responded, stating that God had sent an angel to shut the lions' mouths, protecting him from harm. The king rejoiced, immediately ordering Daniel to be lifted out of the den. Daniel emerged unscathed, without a scratch. It was a testament to God's power and protection. To ensure swift justice was served, King Darius commanded that Daniel's rivals, along with their families, be thrown into the lion's den. The ferocious lions roared and overpowered Daniel's enemies before they even reached the bottom of the pit. Witnessing the undeniable power of Daniel's God, King Darius issued a new decree, proclaiming reverence for the God of Daniel throughout his kingdom. He acknowledged that God is the living God who performs miracles and delivers his people. The story of Daniel in the lion's den highlights the importance of faith, the consequences of envy and manipulation, and God's faithfulness to those who remain steadfast. It serves as an inspiring tale of how one person's unwavering devotion to their beliefs can lead to divine intervention and triumph over adversity. Thank you for listening. In the comments down below, please make any suggestions for our next video. I upload new videos every Saturday. Please like, subscribe, and share. Until then, God bless.